I'm on a secret mission. A secret mission. So don't tell anybody. We're gonna need a secret disguise for this one. I don't think anybody is going to recognize me like this. Yeah, I think we'll be alright like this. I have to hack into their computer system. Beth's office. I discovered her secret. I hacked into her computer system and found her schedule. So, now to real business. Excellent. I'm gonna hide a camera so that we can see everything that goes on in this office. From now until the end of time, she will never see this sitting here. Someone just turned the lights on.
Hello, who are you?
I'm just working on the computer system. Don't worry about it. Well, once again, welcome to Boone Youth's episode 5, where we basically get to walk around goofing off, pranking people, and slipping whoopee cushions in offices. I think we got Lori Beth pretty good this time. But we didn't let the fun stop there. We wanted to see how other staff would react to the classic whoopee cushion in the chair. So, check it out.
Oh, God! What did you do?
Ben Fitzgerald! Don't look at me like that, Christian. Well, like I said, I've been working extremely hard. Gotta stay vigilant when it comes to the whoopee cushions. Sadly, it started busting with every single release of the flatulence. Was another tear to the whoopee cushion. So we will try to patch this up as best as we can so that we can continue to whoopee cushion people. Right, Brian?
Right you are, Ben. You're always right.
All right, it's getting a little much, Brian. Let's calm it down. So, anyways, we are going to have an excellent episode for you guys. Already starting off great so far. But, yeah, it's for tonight. Hallie Donadio is sharing her testimony. One of the senior girls. Sophie, she's in your small group. Are you excited about that? Sophie's excited, and so am I. We can't wait to hear what you have to say, Hallie. But before we do that, we are going to have a little bit of worship. So yeah, let's sing us a song. Hey guys, we're gonna worship outside in the nice sunshine. Got my cool shades on. I got my guitar. Let's sing us a song. We're gonna sing Cast Your Burdens, which is a pretty easy song basically. You just do cast your burdens unto, and then you do a fishing rod out unto Jesus. Whoop, for he cares for you and you and you and you. Cast your burdens unto Jesus. Whoop, and he cares for you. And then when we say higher, you just jump as high as you can. And if you go lower, you go as low as you can. Makes sense, right? All right, let's go ahead and get started. Very nice. So right now, I'm going to give you a chance to listen to some worship songs that there are links in the description below. So I'm going to give you 5 seconds to press pause so you can listen to those songs right now. Cool. Well, thanks God for that worship. And now we are going to get to hear Hallie Donadio's testimony. So Hallie, I'm really excited to get to hear what you have to say. Take it away.
Hi guys, so my name's Hallie, and if you didn't know, I'm a senior at the high school, and I'm here to share my testimony with you today. So it starts out, my family was very strongly involved in the church. I grew up in the church. I grew up as a Christian. I grew up telling people I was a Christian, and I never really had doubts about Christianity. I never had doubts of why God was doing things the way he was and why he put things in people's past. So everything was really easy. I went through confirmation, and if you didn't know, I'm a very big ski racer, so that was one thing I always looked up to God for. I always praised him for my physical abilities and that he allowed me to do the thing that I loved. And it was one thing that was constant and it never changed, and I knew I was always going to have that if everything else was going wrong. So on January 25th, 2019. I was in a very big ski crash in a race. I fractured my lower 2 vertebrae. I tore my labrum in my hip, my MCL in my knee, and I had 2 concussions on both sides of my head. So it felt like this was a really big turning point for my faith. I started to wonder why God took something that was constant in my life and made me happy and gave me joy, why he just stripped that away from me. Because I praised him so much for it. I praised him for my abilities, and he just stripped that right away from me. So I really I was challenged with that. I was struggled with the idea of not being able to do that again. And then 3.5 months later, my grandpa passed away, and it was hard because he was a rock for me. He was someone I could lean on with my faith, and he always preached his faith to me. And so wondering why God took another good thing out of my life so fast was something really hard to understand for me. And my grandpa, like I said, he had great faith, and for God to take a faith figure out of my life was really something I struggled with, and I tried to fill it with different voids. I tried to fill that feeling of heartbreak with voids like relationships and things like that. And 3 months later, I got into a relationship, and I started to feel joy again. I started to be happy, and I didn't feel like I was in a dark place anymore, and I had a reason not to doubt God anymore because he brought me something so good in a time of total darkness for me. And looking back on that, I relied on all of these things to bring me joy and to fill the void of heartbreak instead of God. And instead of God being my rock, I put other things in place of that to be my rock. I felt like God was back on my side because he took a lot of things away from me, and I was feeling betrayed, and I felt like God wasn't on my side. He had no intentions of doing anything good for me at that point, and I was really struggled with that until I got in that relationship. And then earlier this year, God took that relationship, right from under my feet. He took it away. And I was confused of why he took something again away from me. And then a year later, my grandma had a stroke. And that was a hard concept to grasp because my grandpa passed away from a stroke. When God took that relationship of me and my boyfriend away from me, I wondered why. Why, God? Why are you doing this to me all at once within the span of 2 years? Why are you taking such good things away from me, and then you brought in something so good and then took it right back? I got to the point of feeling overwhelmed and that I couldn't take my pain anymore. I felt like I couldn't tell people because one thing that I've grown up with is not showing weakness. I've always been told not to show people you're weak, to always be the strong one. And that was something hard for me. And so I was diagnosed with chronic depression throughout these trials. And it was hard because it was a point where I had to admit I was weak. For someone in a doctor's office to tell me that I am weak was a hard concept, because if someone had ever told me that, I would have been like, no, I'm not. I'm not weak. I'm the strongest person, even if I wasn't, even if I felt like I wasn't. I got to the point where I needed medicine for that, and I started taking it, and then I stopped because I felt numb, and I felt like I wasn't feeling the way that God wanted me to feel. Throughout all of this, I've learned that I can't rely on other things and other people to be Jesus. I have to have God to show me Jesus. I can't put things in place of that, and I can't have things being my rock when they're just going to let me down, because God's never going to let you down. God should always be your rock. And waiting is something that was very hard for me, but now looking back on it, I've learned that God makes you wait, and God wants you to feel the pain you're feeling so that you know that this is for the best, and something beautiful is going to come out of waiting, because everything God brings you is right on time. So I just want to share a quick Bible verse that has been very heavy on my heart, and it's really helped me through all of this. It's Joel chapter 2, verse 25. It says, I will restore you to the years that the swarming locust has eaten, the hopper, the destroyer, and the cutter, my great army which I sent among you. You shall eat in plenty and be satisfied. And praise the name of the Lord your God, who has dealt wondrously with you. And that just explains that God knows what you're going through, and God knows if it's hard, and even if he brings something hard in your way, that he's just preparing you for something even better. And things will come and things will go, but God's not going to. God's going to be right there, and he listens and he hears you, but he brings things that are better for you. So that's my testimony, and I hope you guys are staying safe and staying well.
Thank you so much, Haley, for that testimony and that story. And what a wonderful message. And honestly, so right now it should be the Sunday after Easter. And what you kind of said, the Joel passage that you read, and then after that, what you said about God, like, have hope, take heart. God is always going to be there for you and with you. It reminds me of what probably the disciples went through when Jesus himself died on the cross. It felt like, oh my gosh, all the things that we had lined up that were going so well for us, it has suddenly just dropped off. Now everything's gone. All the things that we thought were God's gifts for us, like, it seems like he's, to use your words, Haley, taking them away, strips them away. And yeah, it's a great, your message, your story was a great representation of really what a lot of what discipleship with Jesus looks like. It can sometimes be this feeling of things being stripped away from our lives. And so and even now, like, when we're in this weird kind of space, we're in this time period of this pandemic, this virus and things like that, it can feel like, yes, so many of the things that we love to do has been stripped away. Like, we've been quarantined, we've been, like, sports are gone, like all public activities are done for right now. They're canceling and things like that. And so it just, yeah, it can often feel like God just keeps on taking things away. And that can set us in motion down that track that where Haley talked about, where, yeah, it can lead to that kind of depression, and it can lead to really trials and hard trials and hard struggles. But I love what Haley, what you said. God is always there with you. The story doesn't end for the disciples with Jesus dying and everything being stripped away from them. And the story doesn't end with you having all of your things stripped away. God is working constantly for your good. It says in scripture, like, he has got plans for you to prosper, and plans for you to be okay and be well. And so, yeah, I'm so thankful again, Haley, for sharing what you shared. Have hope, take heart, like she said. And if you are struggling right now with any of the things that are going on, or just in general, or maybe something struck a chord with what Haley said, like, please do not hesitate to reach out to your small group leaders. They are basically on the fringes, ready to talk to you, ready to see you or hear from you, or see you virtually, however that looks. But they're ready, and they want to talk to you. So if you're dealing with anything, please don't hesitate to call them or call me. I would love to hear from you guys. And so, yeah, again, thank you so much, Haley. Well, that is all we have for you guys tonight. It was great. A lot of fun pranking some folks. We're going to have to do some repairs so that we can keep the fun times rolling. But once again, I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and let me know if you want to share your testimony, and we will help get that started. And yeah, you can reach out to me through email, text, phone, whatever, whatever needs to be. I think most of you guys have some formal way of getting in contact with me or your small group leader. So let us know if you want to share your testimony, and I will see you next week. Bye. Christian, it's the end of the video, man. Say something. Okay, see you later.